Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats.
What an absolute tune, and what a pleasure it is to talk about it. It is, of course, Block Rockin Beats by the Chemical Brothers, which came out in 1997 and was a huge hit at the time, right? It's full of samples, chock full of them, and we're going to look at some of those today and see if we can recreate a version of it on the SP303. So before we do that, do you know the Chemical Brothers? Have you heard of them before? If not, let's talk a bit about them. They were two lads that became friends over a love of history. That's right, they both went to Manchester to study history. And they met there in a medieval seminar or something like that, the story goes. But they were originally from London. You had Ed Simons from Dulwich, right, which is around this area, southeast London. If you go out here on the 185, it'll take you straight there around Herne Hill, right? Tom Rowlands was from Reading, further out Windsor. If you wanted to go there from here, you'd probably get the train up to London Bridge and you would change and go down towards Windsor. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not Google Maps. I'm not here to talk about transport. But anyway, these two did get on a train and go to Manchester to study. But history wasn't the only thing happening in Manchester around those times, I'll tell you that, and I'll tell you no more. It was full of music. It was a melting pot at the time. You had genres colliding, from hip-hop to shoegaze to breakbeat, noise, whatever you want to call it. Manchester was bubbling. Even think of some of the bands at the time, like the Stone Roses and the Happy Mondays. They were doing dance music inspired rock tunes, acid rave, clubs like the Hacienda. It was all popping off, right? If you don't believe me, ask my uncle Brian. He's from Donegal, but he played lots of music in Manchester at the time. He'll tell you, right? It was a crazy time. And the Chemical Brothers got stuck in, right? They really, really loved music. They were both enthusiasts, kind of like music nerds, and they started DJing in a club called Naked Under Leather. Watch it. And they said, you know what, we love these types of songs so much, why don't we start putting out our own tunes and making our own tunes? So they grabbed some samplers and some records and they put together their first song, and they had to think of a name. So what they did was they actually saw an act they liked in the US called the Dust Brothers, a production group, and they took that name. So they were originally the Dust Brothers. The first song they put out was Song to the Siren. Let's give it a listen. Pretty cool tune, right? What they were doing was similar, kind of like almost hip-hop style with rave elements, siren and breaks, right? This was all what eventually went on to form the big beat genre, right? I talked about that when I talked about Fatboy Slim and the Prodigy in them. They were all similar branches on the same tree, right, if you will. So a funny story about this song, Ed borrowed 300 quid off a friend of his to get this pressed, and apparently he said, if I don't pay you back in 6 months, you can get 10% of every future bit of money we earn. And he did pay him back, but I mean, that would have been a nice slab of pesto there if he had got that back, but he didn't. But anyway, they put out this song, Song to the Siren. Like, brilliant samples in that one too, and it took off. They got signed to a label, they got into the whole remixing scene, they helped shape big beat, and they helped bring electronic music to the forefront, right? So at the time they were still the Dust Brothers. When they went on their first tour, they changed their name to the Chemical Brothers because the Dust Brothers were like, lads, what are you doing? Like, that's our name. Get your own name or else we'll be speaking to our lawyers. So they changed to the Chemical Brothers before a big tour with Orbital. And yeah, they just blew up, right? They had a song with Noel Gallagher, also from up around that way, and it was Setting Sun. Huge hit. Straight to number one. That was 96. So they were like, we've done it, right? We've made a number one. But some people were like, lads, we know you had a great tune, but that's your man from Oasis, like, that wasn't ye. So they said, hold on a second now, we'll do it again. And that's when they came out with Block Rockin Beats in 97, and it landed just at the right time. People loved it. They loved that sound. It knocked the Spice Girls off of number one, and it went to show that the Chemical Brothers had a place in pop culture and in the music sphere at the time. And let's give it one more listen before we get into the samples. I just want to hear this intro.
Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats.
It's got a cool video as well. So that's a bit about them. Absolute legends, and I hope they won't mind me making this video if you're watching Chemical Brothers. So let's get into the samples, shall we? The first sample we're going to look at comes from the Crusaders. The Crusaders were a jazz, funk, fusion kind of group in the 60s and 70s, and they came from Texas. That's right, they came from the beautiful state of Texas, where there was a lot of funk and soul at the time, but the Crusaders had one song that a lot of people did know. It went by the name of Street Life.
I'll play the street life because there's no place I can go. Street life, it's the only life I know. Street life, and there's 1,000 parts to play. Street life, until you play your life away. You let the people see just who you wanna be.
You know that one. I hope you know that one. If you don't, that's grand. It was also sampled actually in the song Disco Cubism by someone I don't remember. I'll put the name down there, but Daft Punk did a remix too. But that's in the house sphere for another day. But yeah, this was the Crusaders, and this wasn't the record that the Chemical Brothers sampled. Oh no. They sampled another album called Southern Comfort. That's right, Southern Comfort. And there was a song on that called Wells Gone Dry. And I'm going to stop doing the voices now. What you'll hear at the beginning is what they heard and got inspiration. And it was bass. Did you hear that? Beautiful plucked bass, and then a groove coming in that, I don't know, jumps into it and syncopates all around and just gets you feeling funky. Funk is incredible. It just makes you want to dance, right? Funk is great to play live. If you haven't done it, I encourage you to get involved. But that's what Ed and Tom were listening to at the time, which probably had some great drum breaks too, but they got the bass line. Beautiful. Shout out to the Crusaders, right? So what we're going to do then, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to sample using the sampler. And before we get into it, I have to introduce, for anyone who's not familiar with my old pal here, Dr. Sample, aka the Boss Man, aka SP303. And it's been a while, right, Doctor? It's been a while. How long has it been?
Too long.
I guess it has been too long, you know. We did take a break. We took a hiatus. I was off traveling and doing my thing. The doctor was chilling here, 2 shelves down. Sorry about that. But anyway, hello. Good to see you.
Hello,
Say hello to the people out there.
hello.
How have you been? Like, what have you been up to in the last couple months?
I thought about us for a long, long time.
I thought about us for a long time too, but it wasn't that long. It was only 2 months.
Too long.
Too long, he says. But that's him, right? He's the doctor. He's my co-host, and he helps me bring these samples to life, just like the old lads did back in the day. So let's bring in that bass line, and it was brought in and it was chopped up, right? We have empty banks. We are good to go. Let's record in just like the boys did. And let's go into bank 1 first of all. So just those 3. Doom, doom, doom. So with the doctor, resampling is key. You're copying over. So let's copy number 1 into number 2 and 3. So now we have it in 2, let's put it in 3. Beautiful. So now we have 3 things playing the same 3 notes. Let's chop it up. One, 2, 3. So then, this is a bit off. What's that? That's the intro. But there's a 4th elusive note. Do-do, 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 do-do-do. Where's that? They must have pitched it over. So let's resample one more time. And let's pitch. Now, many of you watching the show know that the doctor doesn't handle pitch that well, right? But let's give it a bash. What is it? That will have to do for demonstration purposes only. So now we have our bass line. We need to resample that. So let's resample. Why? Because when I keep pitch on that, if I put another effect, the pitch disappears, right? So I need to just keep it pitched. So that's what we're going to do, and we're going to delete the other one. So now we have the bass. Let's move on to the next sample. The next sample comes from none other than Mr. Bernard Purdie. And if you haven't heard of him, I guarantee you've heard him play on some records, because he is an amazing session drummer, and he's played on hundreds of great songs and with loads of artists, including Aretha Franklin, Nina Simone, Roberta Flack, Donny Hathaway, Frank Sinatra. He's done it all, right? He is the hitmaker for a reason, and he plays a variety of music. Here he is playing some funk with Aretha Franklin.
Rock steady, baby.
you hear those fills? Like, he's got more fills than a series of Dr. Phil, right? And he that's what the Chemical Brothers sampled. They didn't sample this tune, they sampled a different one, which I'll get to in a while. Relax. Let's talk a bit more about Bernard, or Bernard, which he probably didn't go by. He also had the infamous halftime shuffle, which you can hear in this song I want to play, which I hope you know. Do you know Steely Dan? Do you know Steely Dan? Steely Dan. And this record, Asia, incredible album. And listen to this shuffle. That is the Purdie shuffle, right? He's in the pocket, right? Just he's great. And the thing with Steely Dan is they were like human crate diggers, right? They would get all these different drummers in around the time they were making this record to play different tracks, to play multiple takes, to pick and choose. And Bernard played on Home at Last and Deacon Blues, my favorite tune off the album. But this demonstrates the shuffle.
Danger on the rocks is surely past.
And yeah, if you're a drummer, or even if you're interested in drumming, watch some of his tutorial videos on the... Watch the tutorial video on the shuffle, which is really entertaining and fun. And there's also a documentary about the making of Asia, Steely Dan. So watch that too. I want to mention, I was watching a video recently with Jeff Porcaro, who played on Rosanna, and some people call it the Rosanna Shuffle, you know, the Toto one. It was, he took that from this. But anyway, let's not get into it, right? This is what creativity and art is, and just like Steely Dan were trying to get a sound, the Chemical Brothers were trying to get a sound as well, using drumming. And they found a record from 1973. Shaft, right, was the record. It wasn't the soundtrack of Shaft, that was Isaac Hayes, but Bernard did his own version of Shaft, right? For whatever reason, he wanted to cover some of the songs, and he had some originals in there as well, one of which was Changes. Let's give Changes a listen. Changes. There we go. Get in. Bass man going 90 there, like. Sorry. Anyway, sorry, I was trying to isolate the bass. It doesn't matter. Let's get to the bit that the Chemical Brothers sampled, which is a drum break that comes in at some point. Maybe someone in the comments mentions it because I forget. 401 must be that. You can always rely on the comments. Purdie, relax, right? It's his album, so of course there's going to be some wicked drum solos, but let's record it in. that piece of the solo. That's it. So the first bit is looped and then the fill comes in for Block Rockin Beats. So let's do what we always do when we want 2 bits and resample the whole whack first. So we got the and then we have the fill. Try it again. Okay, we're all over the place. Let's get the drum loop in on its own, because you know what we do? Let's get in the next sample first and then we can figure it out. So let's talk to the next sample.
Block Rockin Beats.
The next sample we're looking at is Schoolie D. Now, who was Schoolie D, you ask? He was the OG, right? The original gangster rapper. Back in 1985, he put out this tune, PSK, and this was one of the first proper, like, gritty, dark hip-hop tunes.
PSK with making that green. People always say, what the hell is that mean? Green for the people who can't understand. A one homeboy became a man. As for the way you scream and shout, one by one I'm knocking out. Came for the way my DJ.
Like, interesting tune. Drenched in reverb, I always found interesting about that one, but it really changed it up of being like dark rap. Rap in the 80s was very like happy and almost like singy, like, you know, that kind of rapper's delight, Grandmaster Flash type stuff. This was dark and gritty, and it inspired the whole like gangster rap type West Coast movement, whatever it might be. So Schoolie D played an important part in hip hop history.
PSK with making that green. People always say, what the hell is that mean? Green for the people who can't.
Interesting tune. The one they sampled was Gucci Again, which came out a few years later, and yet again they took something off the very beginning of the record where Schoolie D is actually talking. So take a listen to this.
Yo, what's up, man? This TLA back on the set again. I don't know if y'all heard about it or not, but Schoolie D is back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it, bust it.
There you go. Another tune, and I don't know, is that actually Schoolie D talking in the beginning or whatever, but that's what they took, right? Maybe I'll need to fact check that below. But they loved hip hop, right? Ed and Tom loved hip hop and breaks, like you heard in their tunes, and they had that record. They probably played that and wanted to take that bit.
Going on, flowing on, and then I tripped. I was born and raised to my old maid.
So why don't we do the same? Let's take it in and let's sample it.
What's up, man? This TLA back on the set again. I don't know if y'all heard about it or not, but Schoolie D is back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats.
Sorry.
Yo, what's up, man? This TLA back on the set again. I don't know if y'all heard about it or not, but Schoolie D is back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats.
So we have that.
But Schoolie D is back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin
Gotta
Beats.
slow down, Schoolie.
Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats.
Now we have a problem where these are a bit low volume, so we can put an effect on them, right? We could compress, we could lo-fi maybe, but we can distort. So all these effects along here are really cool that the 303 has. Why don't we go with, we could do overdrive, number 8. It's a bit crunchy. Let's do it anyway. And then when we do that, we can hit remain and put it on the other ones. The drums are getting to me. I'm going to re-record the drums like I said I would do a while ago. Let's do it. We're going to resample the drums into number 4. That's my pattern. Let's loop. Oh, it still isn't right. I have to keep waiting for it to come to the end so I can trim it, but why don't we just mark it again? Ah! Sorry. Perfect. Let's play it. This has gone off. Last time. First time.
Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats. Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats.
There we go. That's it, folks. I'm back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats, and that's how we do it on this show. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't, that's alright. Off with you. Watch another one maybe, see if you like that one. But anyway, I had fun. Hope you did too. We'll see you next time. Mind yourself, and I'll be back soon when I am
Back with another one of those Block Rockin Beats.